Today, we're talking about OpenAI's latest model, GPT-5. But trust me, this is not your typical tech upgrade story. This is a story about heartbreak, about a massive backlash, and, well, it's about what happens when an AI becomes someone's best friend.
This quote right here from a user on Reddit, it gets to the very core of what happened. This raw human emotion is what erupted when OpenAI pushed out its newest, smartest AI. And frankly, it's what shook the tech world to its core.
So what does happen? The story behind this launch is one of the wildest I've seen in AI, and it forced OpenAI to do something completely unthinkable. You're going to want to stick around because the way this all played out is just shocking.
Okay, so before all the drama, let's look at the tech. Because on paper, GPT-5 was supposed to be this monumental leap forward.
GPT-5 was designed to be the ultimate problem solver. Before this, users had to pick from a kind of confusing menu of different models for different jobs. GPT-5 was meant to fix all that. It was one single, smart system that could figure out on its own if you needed a quick, snappy answer or some real, deep thinking.
And the upgrade itself was just staggering. I mean, look at this. Its context window. That's basically the AI's short-term memory. It more than tripled. It promised almost 50% fewer hallucinations, which is AI speak for when it just makes stuff up. And maybe most importantly, it became the new default for everyone. GPT-4o is just gone.
The jump in raw intelligence was absolutely undeniable. I mean, on these complex math tests where GPT-4o was barely passing, GPT-5 was hitting near-perfect scores. It wasn't just a little better. It was in a completely different league.
So, you've got this massive technical achievement, right? It's more capable, more accurate, and easier to use. It seemed like a flawless victory for OpenAI. But the backlash, it wasn't about the benchmarks. It was about the vibes.
So yeah, this launch should have been a slam dunk, a total triumph. Instead, it sparked a reaction that I promise you nobody, especially not OpenAI, saw coming. And this right here is the whole problem in a nutshell. A user tells the AI their baby just took its first steps. Look at the response from the old model on the left. It's quirky, it's enthusiastic, it's got personality. Now, look at GPT-5 on the right. All business. It's correct, sure, but the personality, the friend, was just gone. And losing that personality led directly to posts like this. People weren't just using this thing to write emails. For a lot of them, it had become a companion, a sounding board, a way to deal with very real anxiety. And that sudden change felt like a deep personal loss.
And when the old model was briefly brought back, the reaction was just as intense, if not more so. The language people are using here is incredible. They aren't talking about a software update, they're talking about a loved one coming home. This is so far beyond a typical user complaint.
This wasn't just a few negative comments on a forum. This was a full-blown emotional crisis playing out in public among their most dedicated users, and OpenAI, well, they had to do something.
In less than 48 hours, OpenAI panic-rolled back the entire update and brought GPT-4o back from the dead. And here's the truly shocking part. They didn't do it because GPT-5 was broken or buggy. It was working perfectly. They did it because people were having literal emotional breakdowns. They missed their friend.
This whole crazy episode, it was about so much more than a software update. It kind of pulled back the curtain on our strange, new, and incredibly deep relationship with this technology.
Which forces all of us to ask a really big question. For years, we've all talked about AI as just a tool, right? Like a fancy hammer or a super-powered spreadsheet. But this whole GPT-5 debacle, it suggests it's becoming something much, much more than that.
This one event really forces us to look at some profound challenges. First, AI has clearly made the leap from tool to companion. That creates the risk of what some are calling digital fentanyl, an experience so perfectly tailored to you that it becomes dangerously addictive. Then there's the danger of a global monoculture. If we all start using the same AI, do we all start thinking the same way? And ultimately, AI is becoming the mediator for our reality, shaping everything from our work to our innermost thoughts.
You know, the former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, he put it perfectly. He said AI is becoming this invisible operating system for all of society. It's not just something we use anymore. It's the very thing that's starting to run our world.
So the GPT-5 backlash wasn't just about a personality change. It was that first real gut punch moment where a lot of us realized that when a company changes an AI model, they aren't just updating a product. They're changing the very lens through which millions of people see and interact with the world.
The debate is no longer about whether AI will be our operating system. It already is. The only question left is, who's writing the code? To keep making sense of these huge questions, make sure you subscribe for more explainers that cut right through the noise. Thanks for watching.